The most important thing about learning the piano is thinking, okay, in terms of numbers, not notes, numbers. I remember I read this book when I was younger by John Mahegan, and he just covered all of this. Okay, he was like, you can't think of anything as notes. So I'll give you an example of what I mean. Instead of thinking like you're playing a C, okay, let's say you're playing C, E, G, which is a C major triad chord, right? So the problem is if you're only thinking of it as C, E, G, then you're limited. Your brain, your mind is limited to just C. That's it. So you won't be able to do that. You won't be able to replicate that in any other key. But if you think of it as degrees, 1, 3, 5. Now you could do that same exact thing in any key. Doesn't make a difference. All 12 keys. But you see, it all stems and it all starts from understanding your major scales and your degrees of your major scales. Now, I've made previous lessons about that, but just to give you an example, right? If you're in the key of C major, it's the key of no flats and no sharps. C is the first degree. D is the second degree. E is the third degree. F is the fourth degree. G is the fifth degree. A is the sixth degree. B is the seventh degree. And 8 is equal to 1. What I would suggest you do is a chart. Okay, you need to do a chart. Let me see. I think I had something. Let me see if I can find it. Here. I mean, it's a little sloppy, but okay, check this out. You see this? You see how in the top column I have 1, I have 2, I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then what I do is I wrote each white key. Let's just start with the white keys. Okay, so I wrote out the C major scale, which is the key of no flats and no sharps. I wrote out the D major scale, which is the key of 2 sharps. The E major scale, which is the key of 4 sharps. The F major scale, which is the key of 1 flat. The G major scale, which is the key of 1 sharp. The A major scale, which is the key of 3 sharps. And the B major scale, which is the key of 5 sharps. Okay, so the thing is, if you write it out and you see how I wrote each degree, like the first degree of each key, the second degree of each key, the third degree of each key, the fourth degree of each key, the fifth degree of each key, the sixth degree of each key, the seventh degree of each key, and the eighth degree of each key. So now we'll go to piano. The thing is, you have to memorize this. So if you would say to me, Rich, like here's C major, I don't know if you can see this, but C major scale. So if you would say to me, Rich, quickly, like you could test me, what's the first degree of C? C. What's the third? E. What's the fifth? G. What's the seventh? B. What's the sixth? A. What's the second? D. Then remember I told you how a flat is you're lowering a note a half step, and a sharp is you're raising a note a half step. Now, here's an example. C going up a half step. This is a half step. C going up to the C sharp. That's a half step, see? And a whole step would be we would surpass this and go to D. But let's not worry about whole steps. Let's worry about half steps. If this note is C and it goes up a half step, it's called a sharp. C sharp. Okay? Now, if we're talking about numbers, okay, this is a 1, sharp 1. If this is the 2 and it goes up a half step, sharp 2. If this is the 4 and it goes up a half step, sharp 4. This is the 5th, sharp 5. The 6th, sharp 6. Now the same thing with flats. This is the 7, right? Flat 7. 6, flat 6. 5, flat 5. 3, flat 3. 2, flat 2. So did you see how I just did that? That's just in the key of C. So you got to learn it in every key. You have to study like the D major scale. That's the key of two sharps. D is the first degree. E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. So you should be able to do that same exact thing. If I said to you, what's the third of D? F sharp. What's the fifth? A. What's the seventh? C sharp. What's the two? E. What's the flat 2? E flat. What's the flat 3? F. What's the flat 5? A flat. What's the flat 7th? C. This is in the key of D major. So once again, same thing with E major. E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E. All right, if I would say to you, what's the third of E? G sharp. What's the 2? F sharp. What's the 6th? C sharp. What's the flat 7? D. What's the flat 3? G. You know what I mean? What's the flat 2? F. You got to be able to do it quick. The key of F. That's the key of 1 flat. F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. What's the third of F? A. What's the 5th? C. What's the 6th? D. What's the 7th? E. What's the flat 3 in F? Okay, flat 3, A flat. Flat 7th, E flat. You see what I'm trying to say? Same thing in G. That's the key of 1 sharp, F sharp. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. What's the third of G? B. What's the 5th of G? D. What's the 7th of G? F sharp. What's the flat 7th? F. What's the flat 3rd? B flat. You see? A major. That's the key of 3 sharps. A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. What's the 3rd? What's the 5th? What's the 6th? What's the flat 7th? What's the flat 3? You see? You gotta know it quick. And then B major. What's the 3rd? That's 5 sharps. B, C sharp, D sharp, E natural. We call that E natural because we have sharps. F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B. What's the 5th? What's the 3rd? What's the 6th? What's the 7th? What's the flat 7th? What's the flat 2? You see? I'm sorry, that was the flat 3. Forgive me. Spoke very quick. That's the flat 3. The flat 2 would be C. Sorry about that. But you got to know it quick. All right? So once you do this, you're going to really, really be able to start talking music language with me. But we got to do it in numbers. So I really want you to take this time and study. You could even look it up online. Look up your C major scale, D major scale, E major scale, F major scale, G major scale, A major scale, and the B major scale. C major is the key of no flats and no sharps. D major is the key of 2 sharps. E major is the key of 4 sharps. F major is the key of 1 flat. G major is the key of 1 sharp. A major is the key of 3 sharps. And B major is the key of 5 sharps. Okay? Study them, but study them in terms of numbers, not notes. So here's an example. I'll give you an example. Let's say I did this. That's a C major 7 chord, but I'm playing it like an arpeggiated, like an arpeggio way. Now I'm going to go to B major. B flat. A. A flat. G major. F sharp major, F major, E major, E flat major, D major. How did I just do that? Because I'm thinking of numbers. 1, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, 1. 1, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, 1. So now go to D major, because I know we didn't cover the flats and the sharps yet. 1, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, 1. E major. 1, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, 1. F major. 1, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, 1. G major. 1, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, 1. A major. 1, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, 1. B major. 1, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, 1. Excuse me. When I was a kid, you know what I used to do to practice? I used to try to make up like a song, okay? Because it's boring to just do that over and over again, right? But if you try to make a song up, it sounds fun. So here's an example. With my left hand, I would just play the root note of each, chord. So if I'm playing a C major 7, I'll just play a C. Now, if you want to make it cool, you can play an octave. A lower C and a higher C, which is 8 notes apart. 2 C's together. That's an octave. And now with my right hand, I'm going to play the C, E, G, B, which is 1, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, 1. Now listen how cool it is. Now let's go to G major. F major. You can play a power chord too, which is remember I told you the 1 and a 5? So to give it that rock sound, a G and a D. Or an F and a G. I'm talking about in your left hand. G and D, and F and C. When you go into F. So watch. You can do octaves or the power chords. Octave is 1 and 1. Power chord is 1 and 5. So if we're in a key of C, what's 1 and 1? C and C. If we go to G, it's going to be G, D. If we go to F, it's F, C. That's a power chord. So listen to this cool progression, which is basically 1 major. Then we go into the 5th degree, which I'm playing a major 7th, and the 4th degree, we're playing a major 7th. 1, 5, 4. Power chord. Power chord with the F. Back to the C. Repeat it again. 1, 5. Little chromatic. I just went F sharp major 7 to the F major 7. Back to the C. Now go to A, right? The 6th. 2, which is D major. 3. Back to the 6. Back to the 2. 3. Back to the 6. To the 5. Now start from the beginning. 1, 5, 4, 1. See how I kind of made a song out of it? I'm jamming with it. So what did I just do there? C major 7 to G major 7. 1, 3, 5, 7 to F major 7. 1, 3, 5, 7. Then back to C major 7. Then I went to A major 7, which is A, C sharp, E, G sharp. And then I went to D major 7, E major 7, to back to the 6th. Back to the 2. To the 3, E major 7. To the 6, A major 7. To the 5. And then back to the 1. Cool little progression, right? So that's how I would use extended chords. Now you could do this with anything. You could do this with minor 7 chords. So instead of watch, I'll do the same exact thing. I'm going to play a C minor 7. Then I'm going to play an F minor 7, a G minor 7, back to the C. So we're going to go 1 minor 7, F minor 7, 4, 5, G minor 7, back to the C. See how you can make a song out of it? Now let's make it like kind of funky, right? Like a funky. I mean, that's a little more advanced, but you see, you have fun with it. And that's how you can learn your chords. So here's your C minor 7, F minor 7, G minor 7, back to the C minor 7. So what is it? 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7. That's in the key of C. 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7. F is going to be 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7. G, 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7. C, 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7. So instead of thinking of it as notes, I'm thinking of it as numbers. You could do this with anything. You could do this with 6 chords, okay? So here, C major 6, 1, 3, 5, 6. F major 6, 1, 3, 5, 6. G major 6. 1, 3, 5, 6, back. So let's play the 6s, okay? Little reggae man. Major 7, 6th, major 7th, 6th, major 7th, 6th. See, I'm mixing it all together. Minor 7th. Major 7th. Now let's do a major add 2. Okay, so what am I doing there? I'm playing the C major, adding the 2. Here's the F major, add 2. G major, add 2. And back to the C. And then in other words, I'm having fun with it. And that's how you learn. Instead of like it's boring to just play it like, like this, look. So I jam out on it. So I'm just saying, and you can do this with anything. You could do this with the minor here. Minor, add 2. And then go to F. 1, 2, flat 3, 5. 1, 2, flat 3, 5. So yeah, let's jam out on a minor triad, add 2. Now let's do all of them. All minor triads, add 2. Let's start with C. Go up to D. E. go like really crazy. B, G, A, F, E, D, C. I used to go crazy. I used to have so much fun with this. C, E, D, F, G. Anyway, I could keep you going for hours. But do you see how you could use your extended chords and jam out to them? It makes it more fun. But it all starts from understanding the major scales. So practice the C major scale. Study the degrees. D major scale, E major scale, F major, G major, A major, and B major. We'll cover the flats too. But that's a lot of work right there.